attended. That means I have to repeat what I've just said. Okay. Let me repeat briefly. So what we are trying to do, we're just trying to have the introductory class to real life project. And of course, we said that the project covers the sample projects looks at HTML, but I told you I can't look at HTML and forget about CSS and bit of my SQL or SQLite. HTML, what we said is basically and also we said my SQL is basically my structure query language. Because now with this programming, I say that HTML basically refers to hypertext markup language. And of course, it's a standard that is used to create structure and content on web pages. So it's that standard that is used to create content on the web pages. But I've also said it clearly that you need also to know that HTML is not a programming language. Rather, it is a markup language that is used on the browser on how to display content. Is that okay? So that's what you can refer to as HTML. Then we also try to look at what do we really need to know when have elements and components that help us work with text, images, links, forms, and more. Now, we also went ahead and said that since it is not a programming language, we need to look at what basically it does as a markup language. So we now decided to look at the key aspects of, a markup language. And we say that a markup language consists of a set of elements or tags that are used to mark up or structure content. The tags are enclosed in an angle brackets. We say the tags are enclosed in an angle bracket. And we also mentioned that the tags come in two pairs, when an opening tag and a closing tag. So when you see, it comes with an opening tag and a closing tag. So opening tag. So the basic of opening tag is just this. Then the closing tag is just this. So, but with some kind of writing inside. Let's say if you want to make it bold, so that's kind of the tagging I'm talking about. Okay, that's one key element. It's called what? Markup language. The next one is going to be what they call elements. Now, we're going to look at elements in HTML. Now, basically, when we talk about elements, we refer to how we can define various parts of our web pages. So, elements define, if you just want to know more, when I put a colon, then I write something, means I'm trying to describe it. Elements does what? Define various parts of web page. Now, what some of these common elements are? Common elements. So the common elements, I'm just going to begin with, like maybe the HTML. We also have what they call We have what they call the title. We have what they call the meta. We'll try to explain some of these elements, or most of them, not some. We also have what they call the H1s. We also have what they call the forms. We also have what we call the UL, which is an ordered list, the OL, which is the ordered list, the IMG, which is for images. So I'm trying to put for you the A, which is for the input, which is to accept users' input. So these are the different forms of HTML elements that I've given you. But there are so many. And I believe this will make a little bit sense to you. Okay? It's so unfortunate that people join like villagers on this remote classroom or the online classroom. You're supposed to turn off your mic when you join. Okay, so that is it with elements. The third one is going to be hierarchy. So what hierarchy does, literally, so basically hierarchy in HTML elements. Hierarchy in HTML elements is just a nested, it can be nested within each other to create a hierarchical structure.
The same as HTML. No, this guy, he compiles everything. HTML, this thing for only. What does F stand for?
Okay. It's an anchor in HTML. Now, I'm just going to expand on your knowledge so that you understand. If you want to link anything, basically, and you want to understand about hyperlinks, you can use A. You're referring to this A, okay? Are you referring to this A in the element? I'm sure you're seeing the screen on your end. Are you referring to that A within the you ask questions, you're not responding. Eh? I'm trying to answer you. I'm telling you the A in the bracket like that is an element. That is used to create hyperlinks. Now, most of you, let me just hyperlinks. Most of you have worked with so many links. They send you a link, you click on that link, it takes you to that site where that information is. So that is the use of the A. So the A, I have said it, of course, technically that it's an anchor like that. That means A stands for anchor. But if you want to understand what the A literally does or the anchor does, it links, it creates an hyperlink that is clickable in form of text or in form of images, and then allows you to navigate through the web pages or web resources which are located anywhere on the internet. So that is what the A stands for. I have answered you, I've typed it there. If you're blind, then I think you would miss it. But I've tried to explain it to you. I've typed it there for you. Yeah, I've made it easier for you there. So we're now looking at what they call hierarchy, which is basically HTML elements. Of course, we say that they can be nested.
what is tracking, and what the system is.
They can be what? They can be nested in the sense that it creates an hierarchical structure. So HTML elements creates, I'm just going to summarize it, that it creates an hierarchical structures. So for example, let's say we have the head or the body elements which are visible into our content. So we could use kind of like the head and then the body. So within that head, we can have some body of text that contains something which is visible. All right, now we're going to proceed and continue. I see the number is growing. That's okay. Let me just, but avoid joining with names like techno, what, doesn't make sense.
My name did.
Yeah. Joining with names like technos, okay. There's no one called techno. Anyway, I'll teach you some of these how to be into these digital classrooms, the online classrooms, so that you learn to be more organized. Okay, let's move. Attributes in HTML. The fourth one is now attributes. I hope you're writing them down. Attributes in HTML. So what are attributes? What are attributes? So in HTML, attributes provide additional information. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to just say provides additional information or configuration for the elements. So in other words, attribute are added to the opening tag and are typically in the form of name, to consider understanding it. In a nutshell, that's what attribute means. It's just provides additional information or configuration about an element. Let's say we're dealing with an element like an IMG. Every time you see an IMG, what does it mean? It means you're representing something in the form of what? An image. So basically, typically, that's what we can look at. Now, I'm just going to provide you with a simple HTML5, what they call the basic web page structure of an HTML. Now, I know you don't have a laptop, but I will try as much as possible to make life easier. Now, I'll just demonstrate here by saying you just need to have any plain text editor. I'm using Sublime text editor. When you come to File, then you come to Save As, then you go to Desktop, Then you maybe have a folder like okay. Let me save myself and create a folder on the desktop called Learn HTML. I've created a folder on the desktop, Learn HTML. I'm sure most of you know how to create a folder on the desktop. Then I look for that folder, Learn HTML. If you have a lot of chimpanzee like Jonah and Jerry making noise in an online class, you make me refer you to chimpanzees or baboons because they are the one that are excited and makes funny noise anyhow. So we have that folder on the desktop. What you're going to do is index, just use the index, which is the home page on any web page. Just say index.html and then you click on save. As long as you're using this current Sublime, unless it's not Notepad or those basic editors, some of these things are going to be automated. There's what they call web versions. There's what they call web 2.0, web 5.0. But I'm going to be showing you the highest, which is web 5.0. And that one you only implement it when you say HTML and then you press enter. It will just show you all what they call the basic web page structure of any web page. So you can say my first HTML web page. So literally, this is what it means. I'm going to explain this. This is a standard that defines the current version of the HTML. If you write without the doc type HTML, then you would be referring to maybe a lower version of HTML. Now, I talked about a tag. I'm going to indent. Indentation is important. Then I say H, then in the H, I'll say welcome to my web page. Welcome to my web page in HTML. All right, so if I'm to literally close this and then open it onto a browser, you will see, maybe I just have to add some text here and say in a paragraph here, I am your lecturer. All right, so I'm going to first stop sharing this, then try to share with you the index file. Of course, the index file is going to be open from the desktop. I'm sure I have something like an index or learn HTML. Then I can open it using which browser? I think I can use Firefox. Okay. So now I can share with you the screen of that particular part, which is literally my first web page. So there you are. So this is where you see welcome to my I see the number grows, drops, grows, drops, grows, drops. Okay, I'm putting the attendance list there. You don't need to tell me. As long as you log in with your correct name, I'll take it and put it there. So it's better when you log in, try to change your name. Don't use okay? And I'll put a form where you will register officially there. So this is how you can play around with the HTML structure. Now, when I right click here and then I click on view source code, realize that this is the source code that that shows the HTML version 5.0, which uses the doc type, and then here HTML head meta. This just basically to display the title, the character set UTF 8, and then the head is just basically what is. So this is what I'm calling the opening tag and closing tag. So you see this opening tag here, body is opening. This body with the forward slash here closes the tag. The opening HTML and then the closing HTML. So that is the basics of any web page in HTML. So if I want to make any changes, I just need to modify something, like maybe say, okay, I am, maybe then I want to change here. Of course, this part won't allow me to change. But if I want to change, I just have to go to the source code, which is going to be directly onto. Now, there is this guy is attending class. He has put his video on and is there busy sewing. His name is Anthony. Anthony, what are you doing? He's there playing with the earphone. What are you doing? Then Techno over is in the car. This lady here who is a Techno girl. Eh? She's in the car. Anthony is there. Anthony, what are you doing? Hmm? You see how lousy you can be while learning. Okay, all is good. I'll try to allow you learn some of the basic things later, but let me just. So I said I wanted to change this part to like, I am Jeff. This part allows me to change. Let's say I want this part to be down. You just have to do a B. Then I have to close that B. Okay. You have to save it. Then you come back to the page and reload. The B makes it bold. And then the BR creates a line break. Okay. So let's try to see the changes. Here is the changes that can be tracked. To track the changes, you can just have to go here and look at the changes. Let me do a BR in the source code so that the real life displays below. Yeah. So those are the changes. If I want to make it bold, I still go to the same source code and play around with it. And make it big, that's what I can do. All right, so literally that's what I wanted to share with you in the preamble of our basic HTML. I know you've missed a lot, but I would love to hear from you. So it's okay, you can now take this opportunity, unmute, and then also talk a bit. I'm trying to take the roll call so that you know if you've been attending, your name can be seen. Yeah. Any question to this point?
No.
No. Is everything easier?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Should I continue moving forward, or allow you to conceptualize the basic introductory part? Should I add more content, or this is okay? Remember, we are meeting again also. Digest this small concept that I've given you. Is that okay? Or I continue for the next 40 minutes? What do you say? I add in more content?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
But sir, we don't know. You cannot see your face.
You cannot what?
We don't know.
Like we cannot recognize you. We don't know our lecturer.
Okay. I'm going to turn on my camera.
Okay.
Basically for you to see me. Are you able
Yeah.
to see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. Please. I'm going to put a link on the.
Sir, we are waiting.
For those who don't know me, maybe.
He's here.
Okay, what you're going to do, I'm going to put for you a
Sir,
link.
the camera is private for people.
The camera is what? I'm going to put a link where you can see me very well. I think the one for my online classes, where you'll find this recording probably. Let me just go to the channels and pick my master class. Just subscribe to this channel. You're going to see me very well. Okay, I've put it in the chat here. We're going to meet also physically, okay? We're going to have it blended. I've put the link there. Just click on that link and subscribe, and then as well onto the WhatsApp platform. Okay. Okay. I don't want to make this a long lecture because people are few. I'll come back next time when people are very confused. Okay, maybe I didn't tell you more about me is that I also lecture at Makerere. I teach Python programming for those ones who are doing software engineering. If you have a brother at Makerere who is doing software engineering, then that could be my potential student that I've taught. I've so far lectured 4 cohorts at Makerere. That means from index 2018 up to 20, yeah, up 2020. Some of you who have known me might be lucky from this. I'm just going to put this in the Just make sure you click on that subscribe, then you're able to see me. Okay, the real life projects. I've put the link in the chat. You can see me. Just click on the subscribe there. Tell everyone to subscribe. Okay, thank you for attending. We're going to have another class, I think on Friday. Then I can organize another physical. I don't want to confuse you. I'll share with you the notes for today's class online. This is just introductory. I don't have to make it very complex. Okay? Are we all together now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't want to
Yeah,
complicate
yes, sir.
stuff. Yeah, but I've been closer to the camera. You can see me, literally.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. If you're on campus, if you're at UICT, just come to the lecturer's office, lecturer staff office there. Here, you can find me. I'm going to be around. Yes.
Sir, there are some websites
Let me
where
stop the recording. I don't want the recording to be long because okay, go ahead and ask your question.